From supply chain disruptions to bold new innovations, the transportation and logistics world is heating up. Join top industry minds as they tackle M&A and reveal what's steering the future.
Welcome to In the Hot Seat with Tenney Group. I'm Spencer Tenney. Got a little heat in the street with my friend here, Ryan Rogers, former owner of TextLocate, recently acquired by Tenstreet. Ryan?
Yes, sir.
Welcome to the Hot Seat.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, man.
We had to fly all the way to California.
I know. Beautiful
Tennessee natives.
Little Tennessee boys going to San Diego. I'm really interested to unpack your recent acquisition. It wasn't that long ago where you were building TextLocate, the famous brick wall in Chattanooga where many friends would come check that out. Give us a little sense. How did the deal come together with Tenstreet?
Yeah, it was actually really good. So you know the days when we talked early, even before I started TextLocate and got going, and they came to us. It was one of the things that we were heads down focusing. I wasn't trying to sell the business, but they came, interested in what we were doing. They're obviously very large in the asset side of the business with onboarding and applicant tracking and all those kind of things. And so they were looking for something that's more in the non-asset side of the business, but focuses on the driver, which is who they're focused on, importance from their customer base. So it was really good. They came to us and had conversations. I wasn't even trying, wasn't looking. Like, it wasn't one of those things we were trying to do something. It just, we built a business from the ground up, making sure that, we focus on the right things.
I love that. So you're not looking to be pursued, but it just happens. And so what's interesting, Tenstreet's highly acquisitive. They've done a lot of deals.
They've done quite a few.
So what was it like? You've worked for large publicly traded companies. You kind of have a really interesting experience set. So what was it like to engage in that conversation, and what did you learn?
What was interesting, so when I was at both U.S. Express and Covenant, I had kind of helped with some M&A activities and some things that we had bought. So being on the other side as a founder, and it was my first startup, it was very interesting. It was totally different. Like, you're trying to be a third party, but you're right in the middle of it. And, but it was really good. For me, it kind of learned, do we want to do this? Do we not? Because that's the biggest decision you're thinking about. Am I ready to sell? Am I not ready to sell? What will it be like? Who are they? So we went through the whole process of having conversations, starting to talk, thinking about how it works together. What's the opportunity for them? What's the opportunity for us? And so you learn a lot about who you are and what you want to do, and, the legacy that you want to continue.
I like that. So, what would be some pieces of advice, particularly, for other freight tech folks who are kind of it's an interesting time to be in freight tech right now with all the emergency. There's a tremendous amount of consolidation and M&A. What advice would you give to folks who are kind of in that not sure about what they're going to do next stage?
Yeah, I think you have to think about, what are your goals?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of lay them out, short term, long term. I think you got to also look at timing and opportunity. Mm-hmm. And I think you also, you've been through this so many times with what you do. Just because you want to do something doesn't mean the other person does, or whether this thing will actually close. So get to know who you're speaking with and get to know how they act, and see if they have the same kind of values you have. We got really lucky. I felt really good about Tenstreet. I had talked to them a lot, figuring out what are their priorities? How do they run their business? And what would that look like staying on as a founder? And it really just aligned with what we were looking for. And then now, being on with Tenstreet, it's been a little over 6 months now, and it's just been great. It's, better than I expected. I expected good things, but then it was good, because sometimes those aren't that way. And they have been great to work with, really good people.
It's interesting. You'd mentioned kind of you didn't call it diligence, but really that's what's happening. A lot of folks, I think, on the business ownership side, you're yes, I'm familiar with the fact that, my business is going to be highly scrutinized before anybody starts stroking checks.
Yes, very.
But sometimes they forget that, hey, I'm an equal part of this transaction. I'm doing my diligence on them as well. And so it's very interesting, and I want our audience to really take this in. It's not only it's your right, but it's your responsibility to do your own diligence on a buyer about, value alignment, of course, the economics, but what's my role going to be? And of course,
and how's it going to be for our employees? How's it going to be for our customers? Does this make sense? Because especially if you are founder led, you want this to continue. You don't want it to fall apart. So you want this to be the right transaction too. But I'm an ex-finance guy, so we had our diligence in a row, and please do that. If you're ever considering it, just go ahead and start preparing now, was my thought. I didn't start TextLocate to sell it, but it just kind of worked out. But the whole time, I just kept my due diligence always together so that you had, your T's crossed and I's dotted.
I think that's a great point. And I just talked about this in a separate podcast where it's like, for those that are trying to enhance, some type of exit at some point, 50% is the preparation that you can control. And the other 50% is just being attuned to market opportunity. And that's really it. And you're trying to marry those two as best as you can, because to your point, it would be nice if you could put a timeline and you follow that precisely. That's just not reality. This doesn't really work that way.
Well, and if you follow those fundamentals, you usually run your business better anyways. Whether you sell it or you don't sell it, you kind of have that discipline. Take a look at your financials, you look at your customer base, think about if somebody was looking to acquire it, how would you need to build it and structure it? And you'll just do better. You'll do better. And if it doesn't happen, you'll have a great business.
And there's no loss in that whatsoever.
No, not at all. A little bit of time, but it's worth it because you need to kind of fine tune what you're doing.
So you're 6 months in.
Yeah.
You got a new job. What's your new title? Because I know you have a history of making up your own titles.
I don't know, not completely, but it does happen. Yeah. Now I'm actually just president of the TextLocate. It's kind of like we're a division of Tenstreet, and we're not big on titles at Tenstreet. It's more about execution and getting things done.
I like it. So
very unique.
So what's next at Tenstreet? What are you excited about?
Yeah, what I'm really excited about is the things that we couldn't do either one apart is really around driver level activities. So right now we do location, automation. We also like overflow locations. We do communications. We do image capture. But we want to go deeper into the driver side. So we're working on some things around driver fraud so that we would be able to have driver level identity, similar to carrier level identity, but on the driver level. So when you're booking that load, what information can we provide to a broker? How do we help a driver protect their ID? Because right now people are still in CDLs. They're still, they're reusing those and creating fraud. Or you're not getting the details. So we want to be able to say, hey, this is a driver, and here they've got good qualities, they've got good history, things like that. They are real. And that's important given fraud has not slowed down.
No.
I had hoped it would, but it seems to be continue to gain momentum.
No, but appreciate the way you guys are taking it head on. What a success story.
Oh, thank you.
Excited for you, man. That's going to do it for us in the hot seat. We will see you next time.
Sounds great. Thank you.